I hate to lump people into categories, but sometimes scientists and mathematicians think in a very linear and direct way. Now, what we know about Lena is that she is very artistic. She is an actress, and she is a writer, and she is a poet, and she is an artist. And sometimes artists, poets, thespians, they're meaning actors, sometimes conduct themselves and express themselves differently than linear scientists and mathematicians. Right? Now, there are some people in this class who actually do exhibit characteristics of scientists, mathematicians, artists, poets. But Elena, I think, is kind of irrevocably artistic and creative. And as she and her dad and I were talking last night, Dad was expressing this, Lena, you need to be very linear in your thinking, and you need to be clear in your process. And Lena was kind of advocating for herself and saying, it's not exactly how I operate. I am a little bit more creative than that, and I like to be a little bit more artistic. And it takes a lot of courage for a sixth grader to say to her teacher and her engineer father, I appreciate your views, but I think I'm going to continue doing it my way. Now that is a risk taker if I have ever seen a risk taker. It's also reflective because she's saying this is what works for me and this is the way I'm going to do it, and here's examples of why that's worked for me in the past. And thank you very much, but I'm quite satisfied with who I am. But what was neat about it was that she certainly earned the respect of myself and her father because she communicated this very well. So like Keith was saying, it was kind of hard to identify just two descriptors. But as we all know, the people who are appearing on this board are not just exhibiting two characteristics. There's a lot more to it than that. So now, Lena, would you like to tell us about Keith and his characteristics? And of course, Keith can chime in as well.
Okay. On the board it says that Keith is balanced and principled. And we came up with these two characteristics because, everyone heard this presidential speech and it was very principled and he said it like a young man. So, he was balanced because he has many hobbies and he's still able to leave his school and he's really good at, he's doing very well academically, and he spreads out his focus between all the animals.
Including guitar, squash, archery, and one other that I can't remember.
Squash?
And squash.
Yeah, squash.
Squash.
Squash is a lot like racquetball, if you've ever heard of it. You basically have a ball and a racket, and you're hitting against a wall so that the other person can't return. And there are a bunch of rules, but if it bounces on the ground twice, you get the point. And you were the last person to hit it.
Are you on a squash?
Pretty much.
Now, let me direct your attention to why this is so cool. Jonathan, Keith, are you guys with me? Are you sure? Keith, who incidentally was a presidential nominee, is exhibiting the characteristic of being principled. So is FDR.
And
So therefore, Keith is like Franklin Delano Roosevelt, my personal favorite president, followed very closely by Abraham Lincoln, who, as you can see, somewhere in here is getting connected to FDR. So by exhibiting these characteristics, not only are we promoting the IB learner profile, but we're making connections to these historical figures who have changed the earth. Okay? Now, we have one other learner